in 2015, I had a near-death experience. And after that near-death experience, everything changed for me. The truth is that we are all intuitive. Each and every one of us. We just have to unlock that, because right now, our body, our beliefs is just full of crap, full of conditioning. We are just in general very disconnected. Traveling women because I was terrified. I'm like, to go alone like around the world, I have no idea. But I told myself, I'm gonna do it, and this is gonna be my healing journey. And my mantra is gonna be trust and surrender.
Hello.
Hello.
Andrea, what is spirituality?
Spirituality, it's a way of living. It's seeing the connection between everything and everyone, the interconnectedness, and it's bringing mindfulness and presence to who you are, what you do.
It's beautiful, poetic. How did you become a spiritual person?
Yes, so I grew up Catholic.
You did.
So far from
Going to
being
mass, the Holy
every single
Communion.
Sunday,
Wow.
I would go to church with my parents until I left my hometown and I went to university. And after that, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I would literally go to the church only when I would visit my dad at home. But then I fully disconnected from anything at all, because I'm like, I don't resonate with the church because I feel like I'm such a sinner and
You're a bad girl.
a bad girl, and everything I do is a sin, and I just cannot seem to get it right. And because of that, I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore it. But how I got into spirituality, it was after I moved to US, which was, I moved to US 2014. And in 2015, I had a near-death experience. And after that near-death experience, everything changed for me. And I started searching what is my purpose. And I don't know how deep you want me to go into the near-death experience, but...
I do. I actually was curious.
Oh my gosh.
Because those are very common, like, of what is experienced. Like, there's been lots of studies for near-death experiences for them being extremely powerful for an awakening.
Yes, that was my awakening. And I was in Las Vegas with my previous partner, and we went to a music festival and took a drug. What a surprise. No one does that at the music festivals. Yeah, no. But what ended up happening is that I had a seizure. And I ended up like in the hospital, and I was in a coma for 2 days. And they told me afterwards that I had an allergy to amphetamine, which now, 11 years after, I'm not sure it's true. And I will tell you why. But this whole time I lived with the impression that, okay, I had a near-death experience because I'm allergic to amphetamine. So I haven't done any substances, any drugs. The only thing I've done ever since is just plant medicine. But something happened major in that time. When I came back, I kind of lost my memory too.
No way.
There were, like, I could only have fragments, like memories, like just fragments, but I couldn't remember a lot of things. So I thought that something happened to my brain. And I was looking at the results. I asked the doctors. Everything looked good on paper. So I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why I cannot remember. Literally, my partner would take me places, and he would say, do you remember us being here? And I would be like, no. And it wasn't even long before. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm broken. So for over a year, after I had that near-death experience, I lived in a very low state because I didn't have insurance. So I had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in medical bills. Then I didn't tell almost anyone that I almost died because I took a drug because there was too much shame around it. And I told my family and my friends that I had food poisoning.
Whoa. Bad tacos caused this.
Yes.
Bad
I almost died because of some street food. And I just lived in like the lowest emotions, like shame and guilt and oh my gosh. But 1 year after that, something shifted. And first, I realized that I gave more power and more importance to money than my life, where I valued more money than life, than my whole life. You know, and it was an unconscious thing, but I was like so mad on the doctors, on the medical bills that I have to work my ass off to pay all those bills. And then I realized, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, thanks God for those doctors. Thanks God for that hospital because they saved my life. And I shifted upside down and I said, as long as I'm alive, I can make as much money as I want, but no amount of money can buy my life. So then I was like, that means I was given a second chance because there is a purpose.
Yes.
I have a purpose here. What is that purpose? So I became obsessed about it. Like obsessed. I'm like, how do I find my purpose? Do you find your purpose or do you create your purpose? I was like, what is it? And I just became so obsessed about it. And I knew nothing about personal development. I knew nothing about that world. And I literally just started with a book, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. Because I had the challenges around the money, you know. I was like, let me see, how can I look at this differently, you know? And I literally started with that book. And from there, everything, like, a snowball effect started because I followed the breadcrumbs, which I recommend everyone when they are in a situation where it's like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what's next, I don't have clarity. It's like, just take the next step. You don't need to know the 10 next steps because I had no freaking clue. I'm like, oh, this book, and then I followed the author, and then that author recommended another guy, and I did that webinar, and then I bought a course, and then that course, like, I couldn't move forward with it, and then I went on YouTube and searched mindset videos, and I found Mindvalley, and like just it just like started opening. But because I was searching for it and I was willing to take the risks, because I almost started investing in myself almost immediately. Like the first course I invested in was $1,000. I remember even now, like my hand was like shaking on the credit card to pay for that. I was like, this is so much. And Mindvalley is the company that introduced me to spirituality. And when I even found out about it, because I had no idea it exists, no? When I found out about it, my mind was like, wow, like mind blown. And I was like, something like this exists. And from that moment on, I started meditating. And I started connecting with people around me differently, with things around me, and just, I feel like everything shifted, and spirituality changed my life.
Wow. I actually also started with Rich Dad Poor Dad.
You did?
Yes, that book was pivotal. Like, I think money is mostly on our minds as younger if you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have it, then it's on your mind.
Yep.
And the world even feeds it to you too. Like, look at my Rolex, rap videos. I got all the women because I'm rich. All the movies show that, or just in general, if you don't have money, you kind of want it. And that book really unlocks the abundance mindset of like, use your brain. How can I afford it? And then I love how it opened you up to the world of personal development. And then I'm curious about Mindvalley. What about it? Was it a course? Was it coaching? Was it, because my experience with Mindvalley is it's a great meditation, great meditations. Maybe I think he had an app called Omvana maybe. And I remember doing that a little bit, but tell me more about how Mindvalley shifted you from personal development into spirituality.
Yes. So how I started was I watched Vishen's free masterclass.
Vishen Lakhiani.
Yes.
What a cool name.
Lakhiani.
6-phase meditation.
That was the meditation
That was good.
I started
Yes,
with. Oh my God,
Okay, bring it
amazing.
back.
I did it for over a year, I think, every single day.
It's a good one.
It's a very good one. And then after I did that masterclass, I was like, oh my God, he speaks directly to me, you know, like, and I went on and bought his course, which at the moment was called Limitless. And I remember, I think I paid around $400 or $500 for that course. And it was just like introduction to like mindset, to different worldviews, to spirituality, to how to connect. And it was just like everything so new for me. And you can imagine the first time when you hear that type of information, it was just like,
Yes.
oh my God, what world exists out there? So I did that one, and after I bought another course from Mindvalley, which was Speak and Inspire from Lisa Nichols. And at that time I said, oh wow, I feel so nervous to speak. I'm meant to speak. I'm gonna go on the speaking path. And then I got derailed with coaching because eventually I discovered coaching when I went to a Mindvalley event in Los Angeles. And I would say this is one of the things that helped me be where I am today. The fact that I went deep and I went fast. And I was not afraid. Like I was not afraid of like investing the money. I was not afraid investing the time. I was like, I just have to do this and I'm going to do it. So immediately the first event that they had in US, I went to that event. And then more and more things happened because I got to meet people, that introduced me to like other people and introduced me to coaching, and just like things opened up.
Fortune favors the bold. And for the people who are afraid to give up money for themselves, that's usually why you're going to be stuck. There's this idea of like, to want success or to be a good student of life in general, you have to be willing to give things up. Your time.
Yes.
Instead of entertainment, maybe you're learning something or doing that course. Or right now, we're giving up a little bit of sunshine on a beautiful Sunday.
Yeah.
To do this. Like, there's always a cost to things. What are you willing to give up to go up? And then also, like, what changes frequently, too, is your desire to learn. Like, do you even have the fire to go and learn something? So, to me, this sounds like when did you have a little bit of an accent.
Yes, I do.
Where are you from?
Romania.
Romania. So, when did you come to the U.S.? And then give me like timelines of like when you went into personal development, then spirituality. And I want to know how it leads into your story of traveling. I think you did that for a bit too. So how does that timeline work?
So I moved to the States in 2014. Then in 2015, I had a near-death experience. Then around 2000, towards end of 2016, I started discovering personal development. And from there, I just went on and deep. Yeah. And on my story with traveling, oh my gosh, it's a...
Because I think that's a big part of it too. Like anybody who starts breaking free from the matrix, like anybody who starts discovering themselves, especially when you're traveling, that's one of the best ways to do it. They go hand in hand. Yeah. So a lot of spiritual people travel, become nomads. A lot of people kind of follow some similar threads. Yeah. I'm curious how your story played into that.
Yeah. So for me, one of the reasons why I moved to US It was because I told myself I want to become financially independent and I want to travel the world.
Beautiful goal. Yeah, it's a beautiful dream.
I've always had the dream of traveling the world. I just didn't know when it's going to be possible. But then in 2021, July of 2021, my life partner at the moment got suddenly diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And in that moment, like I thought my world is gonna like crumble. And I also knew that everything I have done until that time, like all the personal development, all of the healing, it has prepared me for that moment. And I remember being on the beach, talking to my coach, and right after we found out the diagnosis, and I was telling him I cannot do this. Like he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Like I cannot imagine what if he's gonna die. I cannot do this. And you know, he asked me a question that like changed everything for me in that time. And he asked me, Andreea, I want you to look like 1 year from now. Look back and tell me, who do you want to be? How do you want to show up during this time? And I told him, I want to be a fucking leader. I want to lead myself. I want to apply everything I've learned, all the tools that I have, and I want to lead myself. And I want to be a light for him in this darkness.
Mm.
So that's what I did. I've led myself in a way that now when I look back, I'm so proud of the way I showed up.
That's so powerful. You were his light in a dark time.
Yes.
First off, great coach that you had. Powerful framing. So keep going. What happened after that?
Yeah. So we were 9 months on the journey of saving him. We've tried everything. Like I would say gave my 110%. Like he became my entire focus. Like I paused my business. We didn't have any like family, so I was his primary caregiver. And I was just like 100% there. So I was doing research. I got trained in Reiki to do Reiki on him daily. I did a course in Akashic Records to enter the records and like help him and support him in that way. I was able to take him to Mexico and do like a 1 month holistic $30,000 treatment. Like so many things that I cannot even like go into all of them. But then eventually like his body couldn't do it anymore. So he transitioned on the other side on April 14th in 2022.
Wow.
And yeah, that was one of the hardest time because like in those last few weeks, we were just living in the hospital. I was sleeping on the couch that was like next to his bed, and I was there 24/7. And the doctors were like, Andreea, you need a break. Like, it's not healthy. It's not okay for you that you're here all the time. And I was like, yeah, but he doesn't want anyone else. Like he wouldn't want to see anyone in those last few days, and he didn't want anyone else other than me. So I was feeling how it's like, no, like I have to be here. And the day when he transitioned, I remember I woke up and I was like at the end of my power. Like I swear to you, I was like, I cannot keep going. And I remember he was sleeping and I woke up, I washed my face and I looked into the mirror and I started crying. And I told God, I was like, I feel like I cannot do it anymore. I was like, I need you to give me power because you put me here to take this till the end. But I need you to give me power because I cannot keep going. And in that day, he transitioned. And after that, I told myself that there is no more time to wait and waste, because life is short. We don't know when we're gonna go, and I had this dream of traveling. He's been wanting to travel as well, so I said I'm gonna do this for both of us, and he's gonna travel with me. And just a few months after, I decided, I'm like, I don't know how financially, I don't know how, like where, like I'm terrified to go and travel solo as a woman. I remember I bought a course from Udemy, I think, for solo traveling women because I was terrified. I'm like, to go alone, like around the world, I have no idea. But I told myself, I'm going to do it, and this is going to be my healing journey. And my mantra is going to be trust and surrender. Because I've tried so much to control the outcome with him. And in my life in general, control was a big, big thing. But it showed me a lot in my interaction with him that I was trying to control so much to save him. And that was not in my power. That was not in my control. So I said, okay, during my travels, I'm going to learn how to release the control, how to surrender. And I made that mantra, trust and surrender. And I said, I'm not going to make plans. I'm going to travel one-way ticket, and I'm going to allow myself to be guided. And it was the hardest and the most magical thing that I have done for 3 years around the world, going to all the spiritual hubs around the world, just not knowing where I'm going next, not knowing for how long I'm staying in one place, but just allowing myself to be guided by the people I meet, by, someone would recommend a certain place or a certain healer somewhere, and I would just allow myself, if I was feeling the excitement, the curiosity, I would just allow myself to go for it.
Wow, Andreea, what a powerful story. Wow. The contrast of trust and surrender to fighting for your life, it's such a yin and yang contrast. And it's so beautiful that you traveled together still.
Yeah.
Him in spirit. And then even more incredible that you just surrendered to life. And for 3 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Where did you go? What did you do? What countries? What were some of your favorite places?
Yeah, so I started with Egypt.
No way.
Yes, I started with Egypt, and I did a Cleopatra tour there. I saw all the pyramids, and it was just magical.
You think aliens made the pyramids, or are they pretty impressive to see in
They're
person?
very impressive. Yes, very impressive. It's not something that we can truly comprehend as humans.
There's a saying too that history just keeps getting older. They keep discovering more things underneath the pyramids. Have you seen that?
There's
do. So much to it, and it's exciting. A good place to start, Egypt.
Yeah.
Cleopatra.
I was literally in Italy because how I started actually my travels, I started by going to Romania and giving part of his ashes to his mom. So that's how I started my travels. And then I went in Italy to see my mom. My mom lives in Italy. And while I was in Italy, I was literally looking on the map, and I was like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And it was so funny because I won a VIP ticket to a Mindvalley event in Dubai, and it was insane. I had chills, my whole body that happened because my partner, Kalmi, who passed, he always wanted to visit Dubai. So I was like, you made it happen. You want us to go to Dubai. So I knew immediately, like, this is his making. He's the one that made this happen.
What's his name? Your past partner?
Kalmi.
Kami?
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful one.
Yeah.
Still making magic moves. Making
Yes.
things happen. So you went to Dubai.
So before Dubai, I was feeling it was quite far, and I was like, I feel like I'm done with Italy. Like I need to go. And I was like, where does it make sense? Where am I gonna go before Dubai? And I was looking on the map, and I was like, oh my God, Egypt. And that's how I chose Egypt. And then I went to Dubai, and I met a girl at a program that I was part of, and she literally wrote in the chat in that program, I live in Thailand on this beautiful spiritual island called Riley. If anyone wants to visit, let me know. I swear to you, I messaged her.
No way.
I messaged her. I was like, I would like to come to Thailand. And I messaged her. I spoke with her. We saw each other once, like FaceTime on Messenger. And I was like, after Dubai, I'm going to come to Thailand.
Wow.
So that's how I went to Thailand. And yeah, so Thailand was the next destination.
I've been to Asia, Southeast Asia, and I just love the scooter culture.
Oh
love
my
the
gosh.
rice paddies, the greenery, the people. It's amazing, right? How was Thailand?
Wow. Like Thailand, it's so close to my heart.
Riley, you said.
That's where I
Island.
started.
Okay.
It's not.
It's like no wonder she wanted a visitor.
Yeah, no. I ended up only staying a few days there. I only ended up staying only a few days there, and from there I just continued moving because I was like, okay, this is not my spot. It was just like a first stop for me to get me here.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But Thailand, oh my God, the food, the people, the nature. I spent 7 months in total in Thailand.
It can go by so fast because it's so cheap.
Depends where you are.
Really?
Depends where you are. It's not that cheap because I also lived a lot of my time in Koh Phangan, it's called. And that's like a very big spiritual hub. It has this like very two big opposites where one side, the west part, it's very spiritual, like similar with the vibe what we have been finding here in Austin. And then it has the south part, which is just like party, drugs. They are known for this like big full moon party that happens every single month, and thousands of people are traveling just for that. They don't even know about the west part, the spiritual part. They only know about the party side. And it's very well known for that. So you see, it's like so much about like, where is your awareness? Where is your consciousness? And that's what you're going to find.
Yes, people who are afraid, like, what about the cartels in Mexico? What about getting kidnapped? What about, I don't know, violence?
Yeah.
If you go looking for bad, you'll find bad. And then also if you have like a chip on your shoulder, or like if you have anger issues or something, like, the world is definitely your mirror.
Yes.
As within, so without. And that it gets magnified around the world. I love how you talked about the spiritual cities around the world, the spiritual places around the world, because I'm curious about all of them, because I've been to Bali and I've been to Tulum, and I don't know if Tulum counts. It seems like it does.
Yeah.
And Austin counts.
And Austin counts.
So tell me more about the spiritual cities. So how do you say that town again?
So it's Koh Phangan.
Koh Phangan.
Yes, Koh Phangan.
In
That's
Thailand?
in Thailand. Yes.
Cool.
It's an island. So definitely a big hub for spirituality on the west part.
Yes.
You have to go there.
Cool. It's funny too, like you'll birds of a feather flock together. You're gonna find your people.
Yes.
And there's just hubs where they do concentrate.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, it was Thailand, then Bali. I went to Bali and I've spent a few months there, mainly.
Where'd you stay?
Mainly in Ubud.
Ubud.
Yes.
Nice. Where the eat, pray, love woman
Yes.
goes. I stayed in Canggu.
You stayed in Canggu, where it's more like the business.
It's a little busier. I thought I'd put this on silent. Okay. I thought Canggu was like a little combination of quietness. It just depends on like the outskirts, but then it does get more dense as you get closer to the town city. but Ubud is a little bit up or more elevated, right?
Yes.
There's like
In
monkey
the jungle.
forest.
Yeah, you're in the jungle.
You're in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
On Netflix, there's like this world-renowned dessert place in Ubud.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm like, I need to go there.
What's the name? Do you know?
I don't know the name. I have to find out and check. Did you go to the island of Nusa Penida? Right next to it.
I did not. I ended up I went to Gili.
The Gili Islands?
Gili Islands on my birthday.
Oh, cool.
I did that. Yeah.
Thailand or Bali, for those listening? Where do you go first?
I would say Bali is like the luxury version of Thailand.
Okay. Yeah, because there's like, they're really trying to develop, and there's like, that's where I would say it is cheaper to live. You can find stays for $20-$30 a night.
Yeah, you can.
And hostels everywhere. People mostly from Australia.
Yes.
But still around the world.
Yes, a lot of Australians for sure. So I would say for those that are listening, where should I go? Bali or Thailand? Oh my gosh. They are both so beautiful and different, no? So I would say to those that are listening, trust your first instinct. What comes, like, and what I was doing, I was truly connecting with my body. So I would be like, okay, how does it feel in my body to like take myself and think about like going to Thailand? Nothing. How does it feel going to Bali? Ooh, I like something. I feel something, you know, like some butterflies or a sensation, and the body is going to guide you. It's going to give you the indication of where you should go. So listen to your body, not to what we say, because your intuition and your body is going to know the best.
That is so good. And I want to talk about that some more, because people who have low energy, well, what is your body trying to tell you? Like, the body is so much more intelligent and tells you the truth. The mirage is our mind. You may think you want certain things. You may think you need that job, or you may think you want that partner or something. But what is your body telling you?
Yes.
If it's not giving you excitement or joy or renewed energy, then take a look at that. How did you have that right away? Did you develop that, or did you really develop that when you were traveling? Because we're talking about intuition, right?
Yeah. I would say I really developed it while traveling. I was very, very disconnected from my body and from my intuition. I even remember when I studied the Akashic Records, which is a very intuitive like channeling. I was like, I'm not an intuitive person. Like, I would just tell myself immediately, I'm not an intuitive person. And my teacher, she said, Andrea, you can be like, you are very intuitive and you can be as successful as I am doing this. And I was like, what? No freaking way. I am not intuitive. And I was just like fighting it because I didn't believe it. And the truth is that we are all intuitive. Each and every one of us. We just have to unlock that, because right now our body, our beliefs is just full of crap, full of conditioning, you know, and we are just in general very disconnected. And in order to connect with your intuition and with your body, you have to learn how to connect with yourself. And in order to connect with yourself, you have to feel. You have to feel. And that means you're not just going to feel the butterflies. You're not just going to feel the good, but you have to be willing to feel the depth of your pain, the depth of the traumas that you've experienced. And you know, I remember even when I was going on that journey, like with my partner, I was feeling so much pain and at the same time so much joy, and just like so many miracles that were happening. And in that moment, I got to realize that, wait, like, we do not need to choose between one or the other. Or we don't need to be like, oh, now because I'm sad, I am not going to be able to feel the happiness or the joy. No, you can actually experience both at the same time. And the degree that you are going to allow yourself and give yourself that space to feel it fully, especially the pain, it's the degree that you are going to be able to also feel the most magical, blissful feelings.
Wow. Bars. That right there is it. I totally resonate with that. Especially coming back from being a numb, highly functional, depressed person. Toxic positivity. Which is kind of like the downside of some personal development. It's like,
Yeah.
But what you're talking about is having room at the table for sadness.
Yes.
And anger and your pain and sorrow. Not just joy, not just happiness, but being comfortable and okay with feeling those things.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I voice certain things, other people may not feel comfortable with that. So like they will deflect. So like there's only certain amount of people who are emotionally intelligent enough that you can actually be fully authentic. Like, hey, how are you doing today? I'm kind of going through this right now. Now, you know, that's a whole nother story about like community and friendships and like different levels with that. But with just yourself, with the relationship with just yourself, it's about becoming more sensitive. Like you're saying, feeling. It's about increasing the range of emotions that you get to feel without being consumed by them.
Yes.
Without being lost in them. And that takes practice and mastery. So how do you develop that?
Yeah. So, as you said, it takes practice, it takes time, it takes willingness. And how you develop it, it's by doing it.
But having the courage to feel it, right?
Yes.
Like if it's happening, if someone's watching, cry. If you're feeling the urge to cry. If you are feeling sad, just letting yourself be sad. But there's like a beneficial way to do it.
Yes, but not the most important thing here is not judging them. Not judging your emotions. And I think this is where that like toxic positivity can come in as well, where it's like, oh, I feel sad or I feel angry, I shouldn't feel this way, so let me change it, let me see what I can do to change to don't feel like this anymore. No, because that's bypassing. So you also don't want to get lost in it, no? But at the same time, it's like, okay, I feel sadness. Let me be with this right now. Let me sit with this sadness. And you can connect with it. And if you are very numb, as I used to be as well for almost the majority of my life, you're probably not going to feel it in your body. You are not going to really be able to connect with it at the beginning. And what you have to do is just keep doing it. Keep doing it. When something arises, creating those spaces, pausing, and just being with it and not judging it. And what I would do a lot with my clients, I would be like, okay, can you allow yourself to just feel it for 30 seconds? Start with 30 seconds. Allow yourself to feel it with no judgment for 30 seconds. And then you are keep increasing that. No, it's like after you are able to do 30 seconds, okay, let me do a minute now. And then slowly, like you're keep adding it to sit with it, to be with it, and you're gonna get to a place where it's like, okay, I'm not my emotions. Yes, to be able to look at it more from afar. I'm not my emotions, I'm not my body. But at the same time, in order for this human body to collaborate, to work with me, it's important to feel. Like we have to feel to heal. And to feel, it's like, imagine as right now, for those that are numb or have suppressed their emotions, imagine as you would have all of these different like clogs in your body, like energetic body, and they are like everywhere, and that causes disease because it creates blockages for the energy to flow. It's like, what is emotion? It's energy in motion, no? So it creates those blockages, and in order for you not to experience that anymore, is like feel it, then express it. Majority of people are so disconnected, especially from anger. They don't even know how anger looks like, and I have been one of them. I'm like, I'm just not an angry person. I'm not an angry person. But the truth is that I haven't given myself the permission to access that. So then you ask yourself after you feel it how it wants to be expressed, and not with another person, okay? Not with another person, but it's between you and you. So how does it want to be expressed? Do I want to scream? Do I want to shake my body? Like literally like doing some somatic work, no? Like shaking your body, screaming. For me, movement has been huge to help me process as well. Like I would literally, sometimes I would do yoga and I would find myself in the middle of yoga just cry because something has opened, and I would just be like, okay, here it is, another layer. So find what works for you and play. Allow yourself to play, and do not take it so freaking serious. Because that's one of the things with personal development and healing, and I have done that for years as well. I need to like heal all of this trauma, and we make everything so serious that we forget to like live and have fun and just loosen yourself up a little bit.
Oh, I love that. Yes. So I totally am with you with moving the energy, emotion. And when you do feel whatever is causing you, you got triggered by something, or you go back, you got to face, when was the first time, usually back in childhood, when you felt that discomfort? Because a lot of times we actually are reliving the same loop, the same programming, the same conditioning from 5 years old, 6 years old. So that's why you got to go, when was the first time, bring awareness and attention to like the first time you felt that way and you closed up. You got to trace it, and then you got to replace it. You got to heal it. And then that serious traumatic thing that used to have so much shame in you, your deepest, darkest secret, now it has no power over you.
Yeah.
Now you can just say it without it even having any attachment or story to it. And then you can have fun.
Yes.
And then you can play because it's not so serious anymore, because you already processed.
Yeah.
It already been, it's apparently it can stay stuck in the body. And like you said, it can cause disease.
Yes.
And it feels great being around liberated people.
Yeah.
It feels great being around people who do have that lightness, that bounce to them, that like, yeah, let's laugh, let's enjoy, let's dance, let's listen to this wonderful thing. Now, of course, having reverence and sacredness for what someone's going through, not saying you should just be smiling or cry. There's appropriateness to every situation, but we're talking about like the journey or the process of being free.
Yes. And I would add that there is so much power in actually being witnessed when you feel those emotions. I was literally 2 days ago, I was having a session with one of my coaches on like somatics and nervous system, and we just went so freaking deep around feeling the loneliness. Loneliness has been like one of the things for me because my mom left from home when I was 14, and it caused like this big traumatic thing. And I was just noticing like it's so healing to allow yourself to be witnessed in that and to be held. And that's what I want to share with those listening as well, that you can do it alone, and at the same time there is so much power when you allow yourself to be held and to be witnessed. And for me, like, this is one of the things I've done ever since I've started on this journey. Like, I constantly worked with coaches, healers, shamans, so therapists. Like, I've done it all. Everything that came my way, I'm like, I'm doing it all, and let's see what works for me, what doesn't. And certain things are gonna work for a period of time and then not anymore, and then you have to like change it and switch it up. But I do believe in the power of being held and being witnessed.
That sounds so beautiful. And I totally agree. When I did most of my healing was with my ex-partner, and being held by her, being unconditionally loved and without judgment is what has allowed me to really heal those things.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of say that about partnership in general, is you're each other's main witness through life. Celebrator, like cheerleader. Because we don't exist in a vacuum. We need each other as mirrors to be celebrated, challenged, inspired.
Yeah.
That's just how it was made. That I didn't make this universe. I didn't make the rules, but that's just how it is. So that is so incredible. But how do you, other than coaches, let's talk about community.
Yeah.
You've made friends around the world, and I think you said you've made like 2 friends that were at a certain time where you had like maybe you were leaving. So like there's like expiration dates, or what have you learned about being witnessed or held by friends?
Yes. So, having a community and having friends, wow, I think it's something so vulnerable in it, to like really allow yourself to be seen in all of who you are, and then being okay with taking up space. Not just because I think from what I've seen and from my experience with myself as well, for majority of people it's so much easier to give space, hold space for others. Like, it's easier. But when it comes up to take up space, oh no, I do not want to be a burden. That's what comes. I do not want to be a burden. So I'm not going to share. I'm not going to ask for support because, I don't want to bother. They are already busy. And what I want to remind people, because for me, I really, really healed that wound around community when my partner got sick, and the whole community came together for us in such a way that I'm like, I don't know how I would ever like give back to them. I don't know how I would ever like thank them for the way they have showed up for us. And we just had to, like, in those moments, it was so uncomfortable for us, but we just had to like constantly just lean into it and be like, we cannot do it alone. And I think that's why the humanity struggles a lot, because we try to achieve everything alone, and that's the road to failure. Because we are not here to do it alone.
And why would you want to? Right?
Yeah.
Why would, and I'm speaking to myself 5-6 years ago, why would you want to?
Yeah.
I think it's just a byproduct. Isolation is a byproduct of the unexpressed self, the depressed disconnection.
Yeah, that's why for me, the way I'm looking at like the big picture, the overall of this journey is like creating this connection with self, then connection with the divine, with a higher power, and therefore you can create easier a connection with others. So it's self, higher power, and others. That's how I look at the connections. But you cannot like have a deeper connection with others if you are not connected with yourself. It's just gonna be surface level. You're not going to go to the depths of it. You're going to avoid being vulnerable. You're going to avoid having difficult conversations, which, hello, being in any type of relationships, that's part of it, you know, and then you're just going to keep things surface level. And what that's going to create, even more disconnection and frustration.
I was talking to a friend about this. AI has made everybody 15, 20 points more intelligent on their IQ. So what's going to separate people now? What's going to separate media industry is the humanness.
Yes.
Is your uniqueness. Do you know yourself? Because when I was younger, I was a copycat of like my friends or what I saw. And that's kind of how it goes, because we want belonging so much.
Yeah.
We want belonging so much. And I admire the kids or the people that grow into adults that maintain that, because they never fit in, so they stayed weird.
Yep. Yeah.
And I love those people. And that's truly what we are, is a uniquely weird, messy, ugly, and beautiful human being. And we're all artists and creators. And whatever your aesthetic eye likes, that's because you like that within yourself. Whatever songs you love, that's because that's the music in you. The art, the everything. It's all just a mirror. And when you find other people who are themselves as well, you recognize it.
Yes.
And when you feel someone else's heart, you feel it. And when you feel someone else's curiosity and genuine interest, you feel it.
Yeah.
And I think that's an ever growing degree of depth that doesn't end. So me 2-3 years ago was not where I am today. And the people I'm attracting now are so much more exciting and beneficial in my life to me now than 2-3 years ago. But, you know, success leaves clues. You're headed that direction. And as you emerge like a flower, you have all the ingredients within you already. And then when you start blooming, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
I love how you said that too. You got to be connected to yourself. You got to be connected to your higher power. Because to the degree of those will be your limiter to how well you can connect with someone else.
Yes.
And be able to identify what's healthy.
Yeah.
Be able to identify this very subtle body language gestures, the things they say, the bids of connection, and how different people do it.
Yeah. Yes. And for those that are listening to this conversation, you know, one thing that I've heard recently from one of my mentors is, do not approach personal development and healing from I need to fix myself. Don't approach it from that place, because I've done that a lot, but that's not the way, because you are never ever going to arrive. You're never gonna get to the place where I'm like, I'm fixed now. No, because you're human. You experience things, and then other things are happening, and then there are multiple layers, and it's like this ongoing journey. But instead of approaching it to I need to fix myself, look at it and approach it to I am already whole. I am already complete. And everything I'm doing, everything I'm learning, everything I'm healing is for my expansion. That's it. But you are already perfect right now in this moment.
That sounds so wonderful. That is the truth. That we are whole. That you can source everything that you need within yourself. And then let's talk about relationships, though. How does that play into when you find someone else who's also coming from that place? What have you experienced or seen in the dance of polarities like that?
Yes, relationships are, so juicy. So juicy. I would say when two people that feel whole, they meet, they gonna come and just create together this like magical union where they have their independence, they have their sovereignty, but then they meet not because they need each other, but because they see the beauty of co-creating together. And they know I would be fine without a partner, but I know being with a partner and with this partner is just gonna excavate everything. Because I do believe when the masculine and feminine come together, we bring different codes, no? And it's like these different puzzle pieces that, oh, I hold, but you don't, and vice versa. Instead of, oh, you should be like me, no, you are so different, you're not doing that, and just criticizing that you are not doing how things that I normally do. It's like, oh my God, there is so much beauty the fact that we are so different, because we are just holding the puzzles for each other to actually create this massive expansion together.
Yeah, I love that. I think you're right. It just magnifies like the polar opposites. It really just enhances. It's interesting too though, because we're whole because we both have masculine and feminine.
Yes.
But depending on how masculine and feminine one is, will attract the opposite in the same configuration.
Mm-hmm.
For like someone who's extremely masculine may want someone who's extremely feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Or if someone's a little bit in the middle of both, might find someone else who's also in the middle of both. And finding what and who you are, discovering that, is key to knowing exactly what you're looking for. Because in this modern day and age, it could be two men, two women.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what we're seeing, is they're bringing a different energy that
Yes.
they like to each other. Did you and your partner have that type of relationship?
I
Your
would
past
say,
partner?
yeah, I would say we had a quite challenging relationship because he was very strong in his masculine. And at that time, I was very strong in my masculine. I was so strong in my masculine. Like, I didn't even know what being in your feminine meant.
Well, what does it mean? And by the way, I think it's great to have the range. It's great to be able to have both, because everybody does have both.
100%.
And if a woman doesn't have some of their masculine developed, then they can't speak up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Does that correlate?
Yes, and at the same time, it really depends if that masculine is like a wounded masculine or if it's a healthy masculine. And I would say for me at that time, it was quite a wounded masculine.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it was coming from this place of, I am independent. I can do anything and everything for myself. I don't need anyone.
Where did you learn that from? It sounds a little familiar.
I mean, growing up, like in Romania and seeing the dynamics between my parents, I told myself I will never, ever depend on a man financially. So I made that decision.
Is that because a man did not provide financially?
No, it was because my dad was in charge with money in the house. Even though both of my parents were working, my dad was the one that was like managing it, no? Because he, like my dad and my mom, they were very opposite with when it came to money. And my mom would just spend everything, and my dad would be like the responsible one, the one that would try to always have savings and so on. But then there was always like this fight between them. So there was a lot of fights around money in my house.
I want to like zoom in on that, because if there was a healthy household with money, mine grew up the same. And it seems to be very common for parents to be fighting about money. And maybe they just didn't have the kind of opportunities we had to develop.
Yeah.
Because the way it could optimally look is both. Well, there's so many configurations, but if people are being taken care of and there's abundance and there's care and intention and synergy, then that changes everything.
Yes.
Maybe you wouldn't have had that wounded masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And
So-
at the same time, like, I see the beauty and perfection in it. Because if my household wouldn't have been as it was, dysfunctional, no, I wouldn't have been who I am today. I wouldn't have went on this path. I wouldn't have moved to US by myself at age of 24 with $2,000 in my pocket as an immigrant, just leaving everything behind and not looking at anything, and just be like, I'm gonna take the risk. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, how it's gonna be, but I know I have to do it.
Do you think, the idea of the journey of souls, before you were born, you chose which family to be brought into? Because these are
Yes.
the lessons that I want to learn.
Yes.
Because this is the evolution expansion that I want to kind of have. Because let's just say someone who had a very wealthy family and money was never an issue,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have a totally different set
Yes.
of challenges. Challenges nonetheless, but very different.
Yeah.
So do you think that's kind of how it goes?
For me, yes.
Me too.
That's
Me
what
too.
I believe. And me like studying the Akashic records as well.
Tell me more about that.
It believes in reincarnation
Okay.
and past lives, yes. And it believes that the soul before it came chose exactly the parents, where you're gonna go, where you're gonna be born, and so on, because in this lifetime this is what I have to work through. So in order for me to work through these tikkuns, I'm gonna say right now, that's like a term from Kabbalah, which tikkuns, it's your soul correction. So in order for me to work my tikkuns, I need this kind of environment. So for me, I definitely believe that we choose that. And literally yesterday was actually the 2-year anniversary from when my dad passed away. And I made a post and I wrote a letter for him, and I just found this like immense gratitude and appreciation for choosing each other.
Oh,
Yeah,
choosing each other.
choosing each other.
Wow. It's like your soul fam.
Yes.
You weren't the only one who chose. So you're saying they chose as well too.
Because they had to say yes as well. No, I believe as souls
Yeah.
before we came, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take on this role and I'm gonna do this for you.
man.
And okay, I will be the bad person in that moment, or whatever, so you can learn your lesson.
How far up do you think it goes, or does it say that it goes? Like grandparents, great grandparents?
To like how we choose.
Yeah, choosing.
I mean, we are connected, no? Like with our ancestors. And this was something that was actually reminded to me so beautifully when I was in Peru and I went to a shaman's event. I was probably the only foreigner there, and it was just shamans from around Peru. It was a very small event and so beautiful, and thanks God I speak Spanish so I can understand everything. But they were speaking about the importance of connecting and calling in your ancestors. And they reminded me of this like depth of, we don't carry only our ancestors' traumas, yes, because everyone talks like you carry this like 7 generations back, the traumas. But we don't carry just like their traumas. We also carry their like strengths, their qualities. So can you connect with that? Not just with the bad, quote unquote, but can you connect with, wow, like what my grandparents, my grandparents, what they have been through, what they have done for me to get to be here in this moment to speak with you. Like my grandpa, for example, from my mom's side, he was in World War II. And he traveled by foot 30 days. He escaped the World War II and traveled 30 days from Russia to Romania with no map, yeah, like nothing. But he was able to make his way through the missiles and everything to make it back to his home place for me to be here in this moment.
No way. That really is your ancestry?
Yes.
It's amazing.
So, and that I got to find out not too long ago, like a few years ago. And I'm like, wow, it's just insane. And I've done different programs and courses that are actually encouraging you to go and find out more about your parents, your grandparents, whatever you can find out, because that's just going to connect you deeper with your genes and where you're coming from. And I feel like that's something that got lost a little bit along the way, especially in the Western world. Now in these countries like Peru, they honor and they constantly talk about their ancestors and they bring them in. So it's like it's a living thing on a constant basis. But in the Western worlds, it's like, oh, I don't really know anything about my grandparents. What can I say about grandparents? It's like,
I love that. And in some journeys, I've experienced that as well. For example, there are cultures where they know for many generations, it's like they recorded it or they verbally passed it down, and they, like the kings is how they used to maybe do it too, or the tribe leaders. And the reason being is because if you were God, if imagine you're God, you love all your kids, you love all your creations, you know everybody's name. But here we're human. God-like, but we're human. So to be more God-like is to love and know and leave nobody forgotten. Like they are all part of the story.
yes.
Because we are all one. We're all human. And I love the ancestry because as you either you're a son, daughter, father, mother, to be a good son, you have to have some kind of reverence for your elders. You actually have to care genuinely. If you don't care, then maybe there's some work to do around there. But if you do care, then it's your role to ask and to get to know. And then if you're the elderly, it's your job to be worth knowing, to be, well, you are worthy, but to leave a good legacy.
Yes, definitely.
They say some of the best things to leave behind is your library of books and journals. What kind of, have you thought about your own legacy, or like what you're going to be remembered for, what the rest of your life meant to everybody else?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful and big question. As I have been reflecting on my ego and like releasing this need of I'm here to do a big impact.
Because it's both. It's like
It's
we are
both,
nothing.
yeah.
You know, look at the dinosaurs, like fossilized. Like we are just a speck of sand, but we are also as grand as we make it. It's the universe itself.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, it's when I connect with it, it's truly being the proof that anything and everything is possible, no matter your circumstances, and that you are the creator and co-creator with the divine of this reality.
That is a very powerful, simple way to put it too. I want to ask you about, because it's a big topic for my life, is plant medicine journeys. I know you've done Mindvalley. I know you did a lot of personal development, but where did the plant medicine journeys come into play?
Oof. So I first heard about plant medicine when I was in the States before I started traveling. And I went to Sedona. I did combo. I had this friend who was doing on a constant basis ayahuasca. And I was like, I want to do ayahuasca. I want to do ayahuasca. Like, I started researching. I started listening to podcasts. And then my partner passed. And I was like, I really want to do ayahuasca. And I found this place somewhere in the States to do it. But then I was speaking with my energy healer and my therapist, and both of them said the same thing. They said, Andrea, you just went through a very traumatic experience in this moment where your veil was lifted. So if you're gonna do in this moment ayahuasca, it actually might harm you instead of benefiting you. And I was like, no, but I really want to do it, So I was like, in that moment, I really want to do it. And I had to make a decision of letting go and releasing that need for instant gratification. And I said, okay, I really trust the guidance of my energy healer especially. I really trusted. So I'm going to release it. And in that moment, I told myself, okay, Mother Ayahuasca, I have been searching for you. I've been really wanting you. So in this moment, because I also heard the concept of when you are ready, it's going to come. You don't search for it. You don't make it happen. So I said, okay, I'm releasing you from this moment on. And when I am ready for you, you come. I'm not going to search anymore. So I literally released it. And last year, I was in Sri Lanka. And I went to a breathwork session. And at that breathwork session, the woman said, we have this tribe, Hunikuin from Brazil, that is here for a limited time. And they're doing the singing circles. And I was like, oh my God, I would love to see some shamans and to sing. And I immediately asked her, when are they happening? So we connected, and then she's sending me the dates, me and my previous partner sending us the dates. And we both felt immediately that we want to go on Sunday. So there were 3 different dates. And we both felt Sunday, and Sunday was the longest and the most expensive. And we were like, why? I'm like, I don't know why it's so expensive, but whatever. We want to do it on Sunday. And then she gets back to us and she said, okay, but do you know on Sunday you're actually going to meet the grandmother, the Mother Ayahuasca. And when I heard that, I felt chills in my whole body, and I immediately started crying. Because it's been a longing that I have been wanting to meet her for so long. And now she finally came without me searching for her.
Wow.
And I was like, I cannot believe I'm going to meet her. And that's when I did it the first time. It was last year in January.
And how was it meeting her?
Oh my God. It was magical. The first thing that she did when she took over, I could feel how I was trying to control. And then I was keep breathing, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to control to my breathing. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna allow it. And then the first thing she did, I was sitting down, and I put my head in my hands, and I started crying. But I started crying, sobbing. And I was feeling how she was holding me. There has been so much pain. And she was like, it's okay. You can let go. You can cry. I'm going to hold you. And it was so beautiful to be held by her. And I just allowed myself to just be held. And that's how it started. And after that, the rest of the night, it was just dancing and singing. And she was keep showing me, because I was keep asking her, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What am I here to do? And she was keep showing me that I am like an activator and I'm here to work mainly with women and to help them, like she was showing me, to help them connect with their womb. And that's how they create abundance and prosperity, by them being connected with their womb. And that's how they create an orgasmic life. That's how she showed me in that first ayah.
Wow. First part, being held, was it like by divine feminine energy or just
By
beyond?
mother.
By mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And I think maybe one of the most powerful ways to benefit the world is to raise conscious children,
Yes.
to raise the next generations, because they inherit the world. And nowadays I feel like there's a lot more conscious parenting happening.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more conscious people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know how that ties into connecting with the womb, but have you done work or have you followed that path a little?
I still haven't. I tried a little bit to go, but I'm like, I don't feel I'm ready for it. So it's still
Your
a
body
work.
knows when.
Yeah. It's still a work in progress. I'm just gonna allow it to unfold, but I've done ever since 4 times ayahuasca in total. And almost every single time she would keep showing me the same thing. That's like, I'm here to like work with the womb, with the body, with women around that area. And I was like, okay, it's gonna come. I'm just allowing it instead of trying to make it happen.
Apparently there's a population collapse in a lot of Western, even Asian cultures. And maybe that is going to be like the frontier of development, is having, like, restoring the family, restoring the traditional ways, the ancient ways of propelling life, because that's what they want, or that's what God wants, is to continue life, like existence.
Yes.
And plastics and stress and who knows what else has kind of been at war with the womb, with fertility. Sounds like some powerful work. Did you have other medicine journeys of other kinds of things too? Because when I do mushroom journeys, it's telling me to have a kid. It's telling me I need to
to procreate.
I need to procreate. I need to like be a father. I need to contribute. So that's kind of some of the downloads I've gotten a couple times, but amongst many others. But 4 times ayahuasca. Anything else?
Yes, I've done a mushroom ceremony. I've done kambo.
Is that where the tobacco that?
No, that's rapé. The kambo, it's the Amazonian frog.
Wow.
It's a very deep cleansing, harsh process. And I've done now, when I was last time in Peru, I've done wachuma.
What's that?
Which is a cactus. Yeah.
Now, compared to your other journeys, like, what place, how powerful were they? Like, did they change you a lot, these journeys, these plant medicines, or you owe mostly to your other practices?
Yeah, I would say there is never just one thing, no matter what we do. First, it's stop searching for the magic bullet. Because I've done that so much through like my healing journey in my business, like searching for that one thing that's just gonna change everything and unlock everything. Oh no, it's an accumulation of everything. It's not just one. And with the plant medicine, I would say they 100% helped, but if I only would have done the plant medicine without the integration, without any other work, probably it wouldn't have done as much, you know?
That's perfectly said. Having the right context, having the vocabulary, the awareness, the practical experience that happens when you're sober.
Yes.
like you were saying earlier about having space and awareness, can I feel this for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
This is also for the people who smoke weed, cigarettes, vape, alcohol. Why are you using those is the main question.
Mm-hmm.
Just start off by asking, okay, why do I feel this urge? Why do I feel the need to drink? I love what someone once said too, like, okay, I'm not going to do any substances at all for this first experience because I want to know what my body tells me about it. Because sometimes it's fun to use some substances, a drink every once in a while, weed every once in a while, some other great things every once in a while, but being very intentional and conscious with it. Because if you don't know what your baseline is, you can develop some unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Yes, and I was listening to my mentor on Kabbalah yesterday on a podcast, and he was saying how he was addicted to studying Kabbalah. And he said, hey, and we all have our addictions, because we do. And if you have like a healthy addiction, at least, no, like growing and so on, of course it's gonna be better than if you have alcohol or drug addiction and so on. And we all have addictions, but just look at overall, okay, can I do some detox? You know, can I do some detox? Because even there, like even with the personal growth, what we do, no, and constantly learning and growing, that's an addiction in itself. And it's like this chase, no, the chase for the next program, next mentor, next. And I see this a lot with myself and with people around me. And I've had a period where like I had to force myself not to buy any programs. I had to force myself not to buy any programs. And I told myself, okay, now for a period, I'm not gonna like work with any coach, like zero. And I did that while I was traveling for a period of time because I noticed the addiction. Yeah.
I think I said this to you when we first met, that I did a detox in January. And it was even from media and audiobooks, which we absolutely love in the personal development world. Love hearing these great gems. But you said this earlier too. Stop searching. There needs to be a wholeness, a completeness. Like my sword is sharp enough. I need to just use the sword. Particularly what happened in my detox. I was asking, but what about audiobooks or information? That's good for you. Why do I need a detox from that? They said, the answers I'm looking for is in the silence I'm avoiding.
Yeah.
And lately I've been just leaning into that so much. Like it allowed me finally to be aware enough to be like, I just need some silence. I don't need anything at all. Just my brain just needs quiet.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's how you recharge. It's quiet time.
So powerful to create that space, and it can be uncomfortable.
It can, because then the loneliness can happen sometimes too, or like filling the space in.
I'm bored. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Yep.
Andreea, it's been such a wonderful deep dive. I've gotten so much from this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Anything you want to promote? Plug?
I would say reach out on Instagram. I also have a podcast, Spiritual Changemakers, where I've had quite a few solo episodes and a few guests from around the world. And stay tuned because I'm creating a community. I am creating a community online as well. And if you are in Austin, I'm doing in-person events. So reach out for that. But my desire is truly for the online space is to create a community, to bring people together.
That's amazing. I love that. You're going to facilitate such a wonderful community. I'll drop all the links for Andreea in the show notes. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for tuning in.
Bye.